add the device to your developer account. Okay, almost there. Now we need to go to Overview and we need to create something called a provisioning profile. So that will allow your particular machine, your Mac, to run the app and send and receive push notifications. So we just click plus as before. We want an iOS app development provisioning profile. Select the app ID that we created earlier, so Tinder demo in this case. Click continue, then select the certificate that we also created earlier. Click continue, then select the device that you created earlier. Click continue. And now we just need to give this profile a name. So we'll call it Tinder Dev Profile and then generate. There it is. So just click download as before and I'll save it in my certificates folder. And then as before, click there. And this will load up the iPhone configuration utility. And then we just add it to our library. And now you can see it there in our provisioning profiles. One slightly strange thing just to point out is that if you try and scroll on this list, which you probably won't need to because you probably don't have lots and lots of different provisioning profiles yet, but when you do actually need to click on them and then drag down, and then you can scroll through and obviously see the one that you've just created. So just a slight oddity there. Okay, so now we're done with the Apple developer website. We now need to set our app up on Pass.com. So go to Pass.com in your browser and log in if you're not logged in already. And then find your app. We've already created the Tinder app for when we did the Facebook login in the last video. So get that one ready. Click Settings up at the top there. And then down the side, go to Push. And we want to enable push notifications. And then we need to select our certificate. That's the P12 one. So I called it certificates.p12. And then open that. And that should upload our certificate file, which will, any luck, will be okay. That looks fine. It's got the bundle identifier and everything looks okay. Okay. So it's finally time to go back over to Xcode and work with our app. The first thing we're going to do is change the bundle identifier for our app so that it matches the one on our certificate. So go down to the supporting files folder and click on info.plist. We've looked at this file before a couple of times, once in the last video where we put in our Facebook app ID. What we're interested in this time is the bundle identifier. So get rid of any of that, and we called it, or I called it, Tinder demo. So just change that to whatever you used for the bundle identifier. It has to be correct. Now we go over to our project and click Build Settings and scroll down to Code Signing and check out Code Signing Identity. And we want to change that to the one that we just added, so our Tinder demo. That's the one that we're after, and that's changed all of them, which is great. Okay, now to add the code for our push notifications. So let's get rid of the bits we don't need, and we're going to start in the app delegate. So you'll remember this from when we added the application ID, when we first looked at how to integrate Pass, and also when we set up the Facebook utilities. So now we need to set up the push notifications, which is only 3 lines of code. And the first line, we're going to create a variable called push settings, which will have a type of UI user notification settings. And this is going to be equal to UI user notification settings. And we're going to create it using 4 types. And the types that we want to use are alert, And the categories we don't need to worry about, so we can just set those to nil. So essentially this just describes what types of notification we want to use, and we're just going to go for alert for now. And then we take the application and we register the user notification settings, and we're going to use our push settings variable as our settings, and then we take the application again, and this time we register for remote notifications. And that's it. There's a little bit more to do, but for now we'll just run that and see what it does. And we should find that it requests, there we go. Tinder would like to send you notifications. Fantastic. So let's allow Tinder to do that. So back to the app. There are two methods that are very useful at this stage, and I'm just going to paste them in because auto predict doesn't work for them and they're quite long and complicated. So you can obviously either copy them from the demo app in the next lecture or just write them down from here. But these are the two that we are interested in. Did register for remote notifications with device token. So essentially that's the request was successful. So for now, we'll just put success, and this one is did fail to register, so we'll print fail. For now, you can use the error command, of course, here, the error variable, sorry, to get some more details about what the error is, and you can use the device token itself to get some details about the token with which the device was registered. But let's just run that for now, and unfortunately we're going to see fail, and that's because you can't use the push notifications in the simulator. So that's bad news, unfortunately, but we can do everything but. We can send push notifications from the simulator, we just can't receive them, so we're going to have to trust that that part did work. And of course, if you're running this on an external device, then the push notifications should work absolutely fine. So we're almost there. There's a couple of things I'd like to show you, and the first one is how to send push notifications from your app. As I say, we can do that in the simulator. So to do that, we go over to our viewcontroller.swift, and we're going to do this in the viewDidLoad method. So we'll just do it right up here before it's even logged in. And it's going to be pf push. So this is going to be our push notification that we're going to send. Let's set the message. So push.setMessage to whatever we want it to be. This is a test. And then we use push.send push in background with block. And all we need to do is put in the block. I'm actually going to pinch this bit of code from my block below and paste that in to give us the structure to work with. And the two variables that we're going to need are one, which will be something like is successful, which is a Boolean, so that's what we get back, which will tell us whether or not the push request was successful, and the other is an error, which will give us more detail if there was an error. And for now, all we'll do is display is successful in the logs. So let's now run that, and with any luck it will fail, but then it will return true. Fantastic. So it's sent our push notification. If we can't see our push notification here, then how do we actually see that it's been sent? Well, we can check it over in our pass backend. So let's go back over to our Tinder app, and then we'll click on push. And there you go. You can see two. There's one that I sent earlier as a test, and there's the one that we just created there. Fantastic. And the last thing I'd like to show you is that you can actually send a push message directly from Pass by clicking send a push there, and you can choose the types of device that will receive it, and you can compose the message there and then either send it now or later and set a certain expiry time. So that's a very easy way to do it. Of course, we don't have anyone to do it with because I haven't run the app on a real device as yet. But I hope you managed to get that up and running. So you should now have push notifications working on your app. If you're lucky enough to have a real device to work with, you should find that the push notification does indeed arrive on the device when sent either through Pass or through the app directly. So that's good. In the next video, we'll start to build our Tinder app up so it starts functioning like a Tinder app should, and in a couple of videos' time, it'll be complete. Congratulations on running through this push notifications tutorial, and I'll see you in the next video.